Welcome in the sewing room. Are y'all ready to make a coat? I am ready to make our sample coat, raincoat with a detachable hood. Yes, I am. I'm ready to make it. I'm ready. Ready. Are y'all ready to make this? It's going to be so cute. I love this pattern. I just love it. I did lengthen mine out because this is a shorter jacket, and if it's raining, I want to keep all of me dry. So I've lengthened mine about 6 or 7 inches, so it comes mid-thigh, okay? That was my personal preference, and there are marks to show you to lengthen it or shorten it. There's where you come into the fact of if you make your own, you can make them fit however you want them to fit. Okay, so I did lengthen mine out a little bit. I did. So I'm excited to give this pattern a try, and if we like it, I'm going to make a quilted version. Yes, I am. I can't decide exactly what I want to make it out of yet, whether I want to do blues or whether I want to do blacks and whites, or whether I want to do not Tilda, but Tula fabrics. And do I want to do her black and whites with the little pops of color, or do I want to do her colors? I don't know yet. And I've also got poppy cottons that are so pretty that I really like a lot. So I don't know what I'll make it out of yet. I want it made out of all of them. I do, but I don't need that many jackets. I don't. So I've got to decide exactly what I want to make it out of. And then from there, I will determine. I'm sitting here looking at oranges. It would be pretty made out of orange. Yes, it would. If you go to a UT game, you've got your cute little orange and white jacket. I've got other fabrics up here too that are just, I could do pinks. You could just mix and match and do it scrappy. Oh my mercy, there are so many options for this jacket. If y'all go on there and look for the pattern, you will see lots of different ways that they have actually made this coat. So with all that being said, I've got the coat itself cut out, all the pieces. There's a pocket. Okay, got all the coat pieces cut out, but I want to show you all how I do. This is extra fabric. I'm gonna lay it right over there out of our way because we don't need it right now. I want to show you all how to trace a pattern, okay? And what I mean when I say we need to trace these patterns. And I traced all of those. And that way all of my pattern pieces stay. I'm gonna try to find a small one so y'all can see. I did not cut the actual pattern piece. I took me a highlighter or a marker, pencil, crayon, whatever, and outlined the size that I needed. And from that, I laid it down and then I traced it. So if I ever want to make this again in a different size, I do not have to reprint this pattern and put it all together again. I mean, it was 50 pages. So it took a minute, and it took a lot of space. So I don't want to have to do that again. So this is how you do that. And then your pattern pieces are real thin, and you can fold them up, stick them in here, and if you use a crayon, which is what I suggest to use, I always use just a crayon. It's just really simple and easy to match your pieces that go together if you use a different color crayon for different sizes. Okay, so the extra large size is going to be this purple crayon. the large will be another size, the small will be another size, the 5X will be another size, so forth and so on. And that way, when you've got all your pattern pieces in there, you just look, you match your colors, and it works beautifully that way. All right, and what I use to trace it on is this soil separator cloth that you get at Lowe's or Home Depot or your local hardware store or somewhere like that. This came from Lowe's, I believe, maybe Home Depot, I don't even remember. But it's real thin. You see how thin that is? But it's real drapey, okay? And it does not tear easily. It does not tear. See, you just cannot tear it. And so that makes it good for this, because you know, tissue paper patterns tear very easily. Bring y'all over here, turn you down so you can watch me do this. All right, see this right here? This is our hood. I saved it because it was just the one piece. And what you want to do here, which I could for the hood since it's just one piece, but I want it all. I want to show y'all how to do this, okay? Just lay it down right like this. Take your crayon right here. Bring y'all over here so you can see real good. Right here. And you just trace it. Crayons don't smear or run or anything. I've used crayons to trace my patterns onto this stuff for many, many years. And they work very well. They work very, very well. All right. Transfer all of your markings. Cut two. All right. That's all you have to do to trace your pattern. Easy peasy. Take your scissors. Now then, we fold this up, put it back in there with our pattern pieces. Right like that. And we just cut this out, okay? Alrighty. You want to make sure that you're doing it the right direction. I'm going to turn this over because I want to leave the largest piece that I can together, which would be on the fold. And this. You also want to make sure that you've got it right side up so that you're not cutting your hood upside down, because, well, you know, we don't want our birds flying upside down. That's the thing. If you're using a directional fabric, you need to pay attention to the way that your pattern pieces are laid down, okay? And I learned the hard way many years ago that I just always make sure all my pattern pieces are laying the same way all the time, because, well, it's just the best. All right, now then, I'm going to stick me a couple of pins in here. I'm going to cut this out. This is how easy it is to trace your patterns. So if you have tissue paper patterns that are multi-sized and you really don't want to cut them, then you can trace them. Because like I said, you can see through this so easily. As y'all can see, you can barely see it. Can y'all even see that on here? Can y'all even see that? Yeah, you can see the line right here. so you can see where I'm going to be cutting. See, but it's very easy to do. All right, I'm just going to cut that right there, and then I'll fold this up out of the way. And we'll save it for another project. I've yet to find me an umbrella, you all, to work with. It may come in a separate video. But I'll see if I can't make us an umbrella at some point to match our coat. If nothing else, I just think it would be something fun to do. All right. Now then, we'll finish cutting this out. All righty, there is our hood cut out, and we are ready to start sewing it together. Look, there's our little hood. I can't see now. There's our hood. Isn't it going to be cute? It's just going to be so cute. It's going to be adorable. Yes, it is. It's going to be adorable. Absolutely adorable. Yes, it is. All right. I've been wanting to make me a raincoat out of this ever since I first saw it in the fabric store. And then when I bought all of it, I'm like, I just really, 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 really want to make a raincoat. And I searched and searched and searched on raincoat patterns and never did find one that I really liked. And when I saw this, I went, that's it. I love it. We'll make a raincoat out of it. It'll be perfect. And at some point, we probably will make another coat out of something else and line it. Would this not be the cutest denim coat? Yes, it would. We could take thrifted jeans or old jeans that we have just laying around that have holes in them and cut our pieces out around them. Oh, yes, my mercy. Would that not be just the cutest? It would be. And then if you want to cut it a size or two larger and put you a fleece lining in it, could even take you a fleece blanket that you can buy dirt cheap, especially after Christmas. That would be, that would be just the nicest, snuggliest, warmest, yummiest ever, wouldn't it? Okay. I've come up with all kinds of ideas to make this little jacket. So y'all get busy and make you some jackets and send me your pictures. I'm going to start us a Facebook group just for everything else making a seam. I'll try to post videos on there as well. I'm going to try to. Y'all, it's hard. There's a lot of work involved, and I love doing it, but it takes time. And it's just me. I don't have a crew. I don't have helpers. I don't have anybody to help me edit. I don't have anybody to help me upload. I don't have any help. It's just, I'm a one-woman show here. And so with that being said, y'all just got to be patient with me. But I am going to try to, before this video comes out, get us a Facebook group for everything else. And I'll try to put albums in there for certain projects. So when you all make them, you can upload them for everyone else to see. And it would just be so much fun. And y'all can connect that way. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. I will have you answer a couple of questions just because I want to try to keep scammers out of the group. But everybody's welcome. As long as you're not a scammer and you just want to be nice, that's fine. But when you start being ugly, then you have to go, because we are here to lift each other up and encourage each other and not tear each other down. There's enough ugly in the world without somebody else coming in being ugly. And I don't like ugly. No, I don't like ugly. So, all that being said, I got to thinking about my hood. It needs a lining. I'm going to line this hood. So I had some navy blue. Right here it is. Right here it is. I'm just going to line this hood with this navy blue right here. This is a piece that, let's see, will that fit? Yeah, it'll fit. This is just a piece that I had. Okay, so I'm going to pin this onto here like this. All right, let's cut this out again. That way we have a lining for our hood. All right, this piece we can fold up now. I need to get some more dark navy because this is all that I had. This is all I had of this little piece, and it was just a little bitty piece. There was not enough to do my hems and my facings. I already knew that. It wasn't long enough. And yeah, I could have sewn it together, I mean, after all, but I just decided to. Okie doke. Now then, we're going to get, and I am going to use the serger for this. If you all did not see the serger video and you want to see it, go back and check it out. It's the video right before this one. I'll try to remember to link it in somewhere up here, around here somewhere. I'll try to remember to stick it in there so y'all can go back and watch it. If you have a serger, I'll show you how to use my serger. And if yours is not just exactly like mine, there's probably different things. Yours will probably do different things. And it probably has different ways of doing the same thing that mine does. Mine is the only one I have any experience with. Mine is the only one I have ever sewn on. I don't know anything about any of the others. So I showed you what I have and how I do mine, and a couple of shortcuts that are good for all sergers. Okay. So if you've not already seen that one, go back, like I said, somewhere around here and watch that one. And I'll try to link it at the end as well. I will try if I remember. So, with that being said, I'm going to get the serger over here and get it set up because I'm going to sit right here and sew this raincoat. It's going to go together very quick, very easy. Matter of fact, I think I'll go back over there because I've got my board I can flip to iron on. I do, and I probably will want to iron this. Yes, this is laminated fabric, and yes, it is got a plasticky coating on this side, but yes, you can iron it if you're ironing on the wrong side. Okay, you'll need to be careful and iron on this side because this side is a canvas. If you want to iron on this side, you can do that, but you need to put something between this and that. Okay, probably a Teflon sheet. And those are linked in my Amazon storefront. I think I got 6 or 8 or something for one price. They were not very expensive. So, all right, y'all ready to get started? I am. I'll meet you all over here. All right, I decided to stay right over here because I didn't really have room over there without moving the big machine, and it's just too much trouble. So I'm going to iron. I'm going to take it over to the ironing board. So y'all won't see me ironing, but that's okay. I could just go up and down today. It's fine. It's all good. All right. Now then, we're going to read the instructions as we go because I want you all to know how to do this. Okay. So these are the instructions for the hood. We're going to make that separate and last because it's going to detach. I might possibly be able to sew it in. I'll see, but we'll see. We'll check on that in a minute. First, we've got to kind of get the coat together. All right, and it first tells you to read through all the instructions. So I've done that. A lot of times I look at the pictures and go, okay, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. I know how to do that. So, you know, y'all do whatever you feel is the easiest for you all. And here's, you know, lots of different little instructions that come with it. Okay. First of all, it tells you to print the pattern and put it together. We've already done that. If you do not know how to do that, go back. Oh, there's several videos back. I did do a video dedicated just to printing and putting together a PDF pattern. They're easy to do. They do take some time depending on how many pieces there are, how many actual pieces of paper. This one, like I said, was 48 actual pieces of letter size paper that printed. Moses, just don't think there's a hair down in my face. And you tape them together with Scotch tape. You cut them out, you trace them, and you are good to go. But like I said, it takes a while. So I didn't do that in this particular video. There is a video dedicated just to that. So go back, search it, find it, and you'll know how to do it, okay? So we printed our pattern, we put it together, we traced it, and we've cut out all of our pattern pieces. All right, now it says to stay stitch the neckline. And what does that mean? That means that anytime you've got a curve, it's going to be kind of stretchy. And you don't want it to stretch out of shape. With my particular fabric here, it's got that vinyl on it. It's not going to stretch. There's absolutely no stretch to this whatsoever. So I do not need to do that. If you're making it out of a cotton fabric, a denim fabric, anything like that, a woven fabric that does not have a vinyl coating on it, you need to do that in order to, and it's just, you just straight stitch. That's all it is. You're just stitching. And that keeps it from stretching out of shape. Okay? That's what a stay stitch is. And a lot of people leave those out. But I'm telling you, they're in your instructions for a reason. And your finished garment will turn out better if you do that. Is it absolutely a must? No, but you will have a better outcome and a better final product if you do that, okay? So that's what it says to do. Then it says to take the back panel. Somehow I clicked you off there. You're going to lay out your pieces. This is the front hem facing. This is the back yoke. We're going to need that here in just a minute. It's a neck facing. This is the back hem facing. Here's our collar. Oops. This is our sleeve. This is the front. This is the front facing. I'm going to try to lay all the facings over here together. My pieces are sticking. And here is our pocket and our hood. Okay, this I did not need. This was not part of my whole thing there. Okay, put our scissors over here. Okay, now then, I'm going to try to put y'all back there. Maybe y'all can see. It says, and you've got lines right here. On your pattern, you need to also, when you're tracing your pattern, trace all of your marks. Like this is the center, and this is this. This is where we're going to make our pleat, right here. Okay? And to do that, first off, we're going to take our pattern pieces off of our pattern. Okay. And you can see I did cut this pattern piece in two. Right here. So I'm going to fold these together. This stuff is very staticky, you all. Very, very staticky. Oh, mercy. Look at it sticking to me. Okay. All right, here's our back bottom. The back bottom. The back is in two separate kind of pieces. All right, I did not check that, did I? Didn't mark it. That's on me. There you go, you all. I'm not paying attention. Okay, here it is. We need to mark this right here. And I'm going to do it with a pen. You can do it with a heat erasable, whatever. Okay, now I've got it marked with my pen. Okay. Now then, there's that one. And we'll mark it again right here for the other side. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Probably not. And then here's our center. Okay. And we're going to make our pleat in the back. That's what makes this a swing coat. It has a back pleat in it. Okay. And it shows you right here, step by step, how to do that. And you're supposed to press it. Okay. You see that? So we're going to open this up just like this. And we are going to take this and pleat it into this right here, just like so. Okay. Just like so. And I'm going to just finger press this because this will finger press very, very well because of the type of fabric that it is, because it's got that vinyl coating on it. Do not worry, the holes will not show when I'm done. All right, it won't have holes. They do close right up. Now then, we're going to fold this one in to right here, just like this. And you've made your pleat in the back. All right, now then, we need to stitch this right across here, okay? With an 1/8 of an inch seam, or a 1/4 inch, because these are 1/2 inch seams, okay? So, okay, so I stitched this right here. You just want to base this across here 1/4 of an inch. Just right across there, just to hold that so you're good to go. Now then, we're going to take our back yoke, which is, I said we need to hold on to that because we're going to need it here in just a minute. That's what I said. I found it. And we're going to lay this down right across here, and we're going to sew that together. Okay, we're through with that pattern piece at the moment. This will stitch right across here. Okay, you can use clips. As a matter of fact, I think I will use clips for this. And for this seam, I'm going to use my serger. Even though on this particular fabric, it's not necessary that I serge it because it's not going to ravel. It will a little, but not much, because it has all right. Now then, let's get the serger over here, and we're going to sew this right along here. 1/2 inch seam, or 5/8. 4/8 is a 1/2. So I'm going to come in just a little shy of that. And we're going to sew this across here. All right, we got that seam sewn. Let's get that back out of the way. And see how nice that is? That's just a beautiful edge. It makes everything very, very nice. Okay, although that does look very, it's pulling. I'm going to go back and restitch that. Okay. All right, I already sewed that and got my stitches a little tighter. They were a little bit loose, loosey-goosey. So I'm going to pull these out because that has been stitched in place now. I no longer need those pins. Nope, I do not. All right, now then, what does it tell us to do next? We did all that. So let's lay this over here to the side. Next, it tells us to do our shoulder seams. So we need our front, which is right here. And we're going to show our shoulders. Sew our shoulders. And I have marked on here where you put your buttons. Although, y'all know I never follow pattern exactly. I don't like buttons. I'm doing a zipper. Yes, I am. So there you go. But right here is our center. I'm going to go ahead and mark that with some chalk right here. Marking it on the wrong side right there so I can see what I'm doing here, okay? And this will come down through there. And I may or may not need that facing since I am going to do a zipper. I'll figure that out when I get there. But to lengthen or shorten a pattern, to shorten your pattern, you just fold your pattern up however much you need it. To lengthen it, you cut it and spread it out. It is that simple. Easy peasy. All right, now then. This is our back laying out right here. This right here is our back. This is our front. You want to make sure that you get them on the right side, okay? Just like this. Put them pretty sides together, and we're going to sew our shoulder seams right here, across here. Put us a clip there. Put us a clip here. Like I said, since this is not lined, I really like using my serger for this. This is just going to be a lightweight rain coat so that when it's raining, and I don't want to get wet, but it won't be hot, it'll just be a good lightweight raincoat. And I've needed one for a long time. All righty. Now then, we're going to sew this right up through here with our 1/2-inch seam. And then we're going to come right over here and we're going to sew this one with a 1/2-inch seam. Okay, now then, what does it tell us to do next? Now we're going to make our collar. Here is our collar. We're going to lay that over there to the side for a minute. Here's our collar. To make our collar, we are going to put it pretty sides together. You've cut 2 pieces, okay? 2 pieces. And we are going to put these pretty sides together, right like this. And we are going to sew all the way around this outer edge, okay? All the way around the outside edge. All righty? We're just going to start right here, and we're going to sew all the way around. That was quick and easy and painless. Now then, we've got to turn it right side out. Just like this. Let's get our little turny tool. Oh, it was right there. Maybe it's down in here. Here it is. You just want to make sure you get it turned pretty side out all the way around real well. And this fabric, you all, is very easy to work with. It is not hard to work with at all. This is better than working with just straight vinyl because it's going to be a little breathable on the inside, so to speak. Okay. All righty. Here we are. Now then, I'm going to take this over there to the ironing board, and I'm going to give this a quick press, but I am going to put a Teflon sheet over it because we don't want to press directly onto this. All right, I pressed it, and then I stitched it right here, 1/8 of an inch in all the way around that lower edge. Gives it a little more finished look and holds it in place, and it just makes it prettier. All right, now then, what does it tell us to do? All right, tells you to trim the collar, but we did not need to do that because okay, we've already done all that. I just did all that, flipped it, all that before I, didn't need to do all that. All right, we're going to attach the collar, it says. And to do that, we need to open this up because it's going to go right in here. Okay. Bring y'all right over there. Okay. Here's where our collar is going to go. Right in here. And you've got markings on here, but the way I always do a collar is I find the center here. And this is really easy to finger press and find the center. This right here is the center of this because that was on the fold. And you're going to match that up. Okay, the center of the back, right there. And come right around here. Right here. Okay. See that? How easy is that? And you're laying this on the right side, not the wrong side, but the right side, because we've got a facing that we will then sew and flip under. Okay. And this comes around to this little line right here that we made. Can y'all see that? That's the line that we made, and that's where our collar ends. All righty, right there. Right there, both sides, it ends right on that little piece. All right, now then, it says, I'm reading the directions, we are going to stitch our collar down with the under collar facing the right side of the garment, which we did. We pinned it on there. Here's our instructions right here. And we did just that. Does it tell us? Temporary secure with a basting stitch. Yeah, I think I will do that because this does tend to slide a little bit. So I'm going to go over there and I'm just going to use my regular machine and I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch all the way around here so I can take these clips off and I know this piece and this piece are secured together. Okay. And I didn't tell you all, but I want to tell you now that if you're sewing a vinyl fabric like this, you need a Teflon foot, a roller foot, something like that on your machine, or it doesn't feed through well. And mine came with, it's just a little tiny plastic foot. It's not a little, but it's just a plastic foot. Okay. And it does so much better if you use that. All right. Next, it says to prepare our facings, which I'm not putting interfacing on my facings because it's got this vinyl on it and it's plenty heavy enough. I do not see the need for interfacing. So with that being said, we need to sew our facings. This is the front facing and this is the neck facing, the back. Okay. Here's our back. And I need to get all this out of the way so y'all can see what I'm doing here. Here we go. This is the front and this is the back. There again, I had to lengthen this out to make it long enough. All right. Okay. Now then, to do this, we just open this up right like this, and we're going to sew these across the shoulder seams. Right here. Hope y'all can see. And this will be done with the serger. Okay? Pretty sides together across your seams right here. And these are it's just like your shoulder seam right here. All right. Stitch and stitch right across here. Lost my foot. Over here it is. All right, there we go. Now then, this is where we are going to attach this to this. Okay? Whoa, sent y'all back there. This is going to be attached to our coat. Okay? Right here. Pretty sides together, matching all this right here. Okay? Do not sew it down the front if you're going to put a zipper in it. If you're adding buttons, you go ahead and sew it all the way down the front. But because I'm doing a zipper, I'm not going to sew it all the way down through there. I'm going to start right over here a little ways. And you match up your shoulder seams, and that should match perfectly. One thing you might want to do, zigzag or serge this edge right here, okay? You can do that either before or after you put this on there. But you want to match your shoulders and your fronts, okay? And then your back will match just right across here. And I'm going to start at my collar. And stitch, because I'm going to add a zipper, and I got to think a minute on exactly how, whether I need to trim this down some in the center, and I may trim mine down just a little bit to make it or it could just be a little bigger. Or do I want to put a flap? And I might just put a zipper in the flap. Might just, yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so here we go. Y'all know I don't ever do anything by the pattern. I don't. Alrighty. I'm going to sew right around here. Matter of fact, I am just going to sew all the way around here. Starting down here at the bottom. I'm going to sew up right here. And I'm going to sew all the way around. Okay, and I'll be back. Okay, I went over there and I got us out 3 buttons. Big blue buttons. They're going to be more for decoration than for utility because I am going to add this zipper. But first we need to turn this all to the right side and press it down, or at least get your seam all even. Pressing this doesn't really help a lot. So I'm just kind of pulling this out like this, grabbing it, pulling my seam up, just so I can stitch all the way around here. You just want to put a nice finishing stitch around here, top stitch, 1/8 of an inch in, all the way around here. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to take this over here to the machine, and I'm going to stitch all the way around this, 1/8 of an inch on the top, okay? All the way around, all the way back down the other side, and I'll be right back. Okay, I kind of got ahead of myself. I went ahead and stitched this. It said to pull this out of the way and stitch around there, but I stitched my collar down. I think it's fine that way. That's a personal preference thing, whether you want to stitch your collar down or leave it where it'll come up. I just stitched mine down. It'll be fine because we will attach our collar, our hood, to the inside here. Okay. Now then, it says to do, and you weren't supposed to sew this yet, but I did. I got ahead of myself. You need to make the bottom facings. And it says to do the side seams and then put your sleeves in. I don't like to do mine that way. I like to make my side seam and my underarm sleeve seam all in one seam. It's so much easier that way than trying to sew in a circle around your armhole. I don't like sleeves put in that way. They're just harder to sew, okay? When you can leave it laying out flat, it's just so much better. Okay, so with that being said, the next step we're going to do is we are going to add our sleeves. Okay, and here is our sleeve right here. And I did not mark my notches on the sleeve, so I've got to come up here and find my sleeve pattern and make some make some marks here. Let's see if this is the sleeve. I believe it is. Yes. Okay. Now then, I've got to make some marks here on my sleeve because right here is the center. So let's just lay it down on top right like this. Turn y'all back down so you can see I'm laying it down right here on top. And I'm going to match the notches. If you've got 2 notches right here, this is the back side, okay? So I'm going to put 2 lines right here because this is the back. And I'm going to put 1 notch right here because this is the front. And here is the center seam that will match your shoulder seam, okay? Just like that, easy peasy. Let's get this folded up and out of the way again. Okay, now then, we got that taken care of. All right, now then, we also need to hem our sleeves, and I am going to do that now, or at least get that part started. I want to show you how I'm going to do that. You've got a 2-inch hem on your sleeve. Now then, if you're using a fabric that's going to ravel quite a bit, you need to turn it up a 1/2 inch and then turn it up 1.5 inches. That is what your pattern directions tell you to do. Okay? And you can do that. And I probably will. I'll turn it up right like this, press it, and then turn it up like this and press it. You do not want to stitch that yet. You just want to get this pressed to where you have that where you need it to be. Okay? I'm going to take this over there and press it and give me some crease lines so I'll know what I'm doing in a minute. Okay, now the easy way, oh, my shirt's so big. The easy way to do this. Now then, you are going to take your sleeve right like this and your side seams, and you are going to match this right underneath your armhole, right there. Your front to your back, right here, and your sleeve. Now, when you come to this part right here, you want to leave this first fold folded, okay? Just the first one. Not, you don't want to leave it all folded, just the first fold, okay? Put your clip on it. Come right here and match your underarm seams. Put you a clip on them. And clip down through here a time. All right, I stitched the bottom, turned it up, and stitched all the way around there, okay? I did not stitch up through here yet. We'll do that in a minute. The pattern actually says to do that, but I want to do that when I add my zipper, so I don't have double stitching on the outside. So that's why I did not do that part yet. But we're going to hem our sleeves, straight stitch all the way around both sleeves. You've got a nice finished inside because we turned that in once there already, okay? And then I'll come back and we'll put our zipper in and add our buttons. Okay, now then, I measured this like this right here, okay? Pulled this together where it's supposed to go around the neck. Right here, and you've got 2 inches, okay? I don't know if the pattern tells you that or whatever, but I did measure 2 inches, okay? And I want to put my zipper in here, okay? Like where this will come over, all right? So I want the zipper in here, right along this edge, and then right along here where that is, all right? So here we go. I've just got a nice 24 inch separating zipper. For a jacket, you need a separating zipper. It comes apart at the bottom. Some of them, I think I'm through with this machine. Some of them will have 2 zipper pulls, one at the top and one at the bottom. This one only has one. That's all we need, really. But what we want to do is we want to lay it down here. And I'm going to lay it right here even. Okay? Down just about 1/8 of an inch. Bring it over here all the way to the edge to where these zipper teeth are hanging over the edge. Okay? And we're going to pin it right down through here all the way. The same thing over here. This will come in here like this. So we want to measure down the same amount, which is 1/4 of an inch right here. Where that is. Let's see. This goes this way, all right? And you want to bring that down 1/4 of an inch and pin this on this side. Now this one you're going to want to keep right here along this edge where I drew that line, that pink line. Can y'all see that? Hope you can. Right here. I've got a pink line right here. Can y'all see it? I think you can see that pink line with my chalk, and it'll rub off. That's why I used it. But you want to keep your teeth just to this outer side of that pink line. You actually could turn that right like that and then pin it right along there. All right, you want to do that to both sides, and then when you zip your zipper up, it'll be hidden in there, and we'll put our 3 big buttons down through here and sew our pockets on in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do this and get this right here put on here. And to do this, you're just going to top stitch this zipper down. It is so easy. to do this. So easy. All right, I'm going to finish doing this, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, now our zipper is pinned on this side, and it's pinned on this side. So all we need to do is stitch this, and I'm going to double stitch it. I'm going to stitch it right here close to these teeth. You don't want this one real close to the teeth. You want it to be about right here. And I don't know if you all can see or not, but there is a difference in the way that the zipper tape is. It's got a different texture to it. So I'm going to stitch right along here on this texture, and then I'm going to stitch along this outer edge. This one I'm going to do the same way, right here and right here. Okay, I'm going to double stitch the zipper in, because number one, this zipper is going to take a lot of stress because it's a separating zipper, and you want it to hold on well. So I'm going to go stitch that, and I'll come back and I'll show you exactly how I did it. Okay, here's our zipper. I double stitched. I hope y'all can see this stitching. There are 2 rows of stitching right here, all the way up where I double stitched it. I stitched it here and I stitched it here so that this is not flapping. Same thing on this side. I stitched right here and I stitched right here along the edge. Okay, just so it's not flapping about. It's good and secure. Now then, we're going to do our pockets. And I did use the serger again for a minute. It said to zigzag or serge the outer edge of your pocket right here. This will not be seen because we're going to hem this. But first, we need to turn this under a 1/2 inch right here. Right like this. Take it over there and press it 1/2 inch. And then we're going to turn it back this way 1 inch. Okay? So about like this right here. And you're going to press this down. All right? Get it all held in there good. Okay? And then, and I know I didn't take it and press it, and I should have, but I didn't, did I? Then you are going to stitch all the way around here inside a 1/2 inch. Okay? All the way around that raw edge, you're going to stitch a 1/2 inch. Right here. All the way in. 1/2 inch around both pockets. Okay? So we've got that turned in 1 inch. We've got this turned up a 1/2 inch. Do the same thing with this one. Turn it in a 1/2 inch. Press it down. I'm just finger pressing it. Turn it back 1 inch. And then we're going to go over there and we're going to stitch this. All right, now we're going to stitch around here a 1/2 inch all the way around both pieces. Stitch across this right here because this is what's going to hem this pocket, okay? All right, now this is what you've got right here. This right here is what you've got. Stitch down through there. Now then you're going to turn this right like this. Take your little turning tool. That mine's laying right here somewhere. Get your corners poked out well. Just like that. Turn this under. There you go. And what you're going to do is where you stitch that, you're going to be able to turn that in right like this to top stitch it onto your, see how easy that just turns around through there for you to be able to press it and pin it, and it's the same. See how easy that does when you've got that stitching in there. Alrighty, so we're going to do this. I'm going to take these over there and press them very well so that I can this done. And then I'm going to stitch this across here, both of these, to hold this down and stitch that into place right where it goes, okay? Turn this in and then stitch right across here. All right, right here's where the pockets go. Here's our pattern piece right here. This is where I lengthened it, and you can see how much I lengthened it, just about 4 or 5 inches. But I still want my pockets in the same place, so I pulled this back up to mark where my pockets go, right here, okay? This one we're going to lay right over here. Right like this. And we're going to mark these pockets right here. Right here. And I'm going to go ahead and mark where our buttons go, which is right here. Right here. And right here. That is where our button holes will be, okay? On this side. The buttons will be on this side over here. Okie doke. So all of our markings there, all we have to do is attach our pockets right like this. And we're going to pin these on. Okay, y'all didn't see that because I didn't have you turned on. Okay, here's our pocket. There's pocket number 1. Let's do pocket number 2. All right, you've got our markings right here. I'll lay this right here just like that. And we're going to pin it on. Just like this. I probably would have put the pocket on before I did anything else. That would have been my first step to this front piece, would have been to put the pockets on. And I normally do not just turn pockets in like this. I normally bind my pockets because they're just easier to do, easier to get on. You don't have to deal with all this little bitty bit right here to try to get it turned in. It just turns in that seam and you've got a nice lined finished pocket. They are so much easier to do. But I'm trying to be a good girl and follow these directions. I'm really am. It's so hard for me when I'm doing this to follow directions because I put it on the way I think it ought to go and in the order I think things ought to happen, and that's not always the way they want you to do it. So with all that being said, there's our pockets, okay? We're going to stitch these around here all the way around, back stitching 2 or 3 times right here because this is where all of the stress on your pocket will be, right up there, the top part, okay? Then we're going to come over here and we're going to put 3 buttonholes, okay? So I'm going to mark where these buttonholes are going to go, and these are approximately 5 inches apart. And the first one is going to go right here. Right there. The second one is going to go right here. And the third one is going to go right here. Okay? That's where our buttonholes are going to be. So I'll start them here and they'll stitch up this way and back and this way and back. Okay? So I'll bring y'all over here and let you see how we do our buttonholes. Okay, now then, I've got my buttonhole attachment here. Mine is electronic and plugs in right back here. Right here. Mine plugs in right here. Some do. Some have the little lever that comes down. But it's just an automatic buttonhole attachment. Okay? And we'll bring y'all up so you can get right down like that maybe. How's that? Because I can do this because I really don't have to do anything with you all. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my buttonholes. They need to end right there. They need to come down here 2.5 inches. Right here. Okay, this right here is where I need to start that buttonhole. Okay, same thing right here. 2.5 inches right there. And from this line, I need to come down 2.5 inches. And that's because I have a 2.5 inch button. Now you're going to say, what if my button won't fit in my buttonhole foot? And mine will not. It's an extra large, oversized button that will not fit in that slot at all. It will not fit. It's way too big. So what are you going to do? We're still going to make buttonholes. We're still going to use our buttonhole foot. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. Okay? So we are going to start our buttonhole right there, and then we're going to come up 3/4 of an inch, and we're going to make us another mark. From each one of these, right here, you're going to go up 3/4 of an inch and make you another mark. Okay? Right here. Oh, that's too far. 3/4 of an inch. Right here. Alrighty. I'm going to erase these long marks. And we're going to come in here. We've got, what, 2 inches right there. We're going to come in an inch to right here. So right in here is where we want our buttonholes to be. Okay? An inch in. Right here and come in an inch. Okay. Now then, our buttonhole will be right here. Okay? And it'll be right here. And it'll be right there. All right, so we're going to make, actually we need 3 buttonholes. So we're actually going to make 6 buttonholes. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Okay? You're going to put this in here just like this. And you're going to line that up with that first mark. The first mark. And you're going to make a buttonhole. I've got mine set at the largest size. And the way I determined how big to make my buttonholes and how far I needed to do this and put my double marks here, I made a buttonhole and I measured it. That's how I did it. Cut your thread. Now then, you're going to take it, raise your presser foot, come right down here, and come straight down till you see your next little set of marks right there. Make you another buttonhole right on top of the other one. There you go. Now let's do the same thing All right, you're going to come down here to your next set of marks, which is right here. Okay, there it is. I had a hard time seeing it. I wasn't going up far enough. Come over here to the right place and make you another buttonhole. Come straight down here, raise it up, come straight down till you see your next mark. Come past it. There it is. Didn't have it over far enough. Let's make it over this way so we can see it. Stop right there. Make another buttonhole right on top of the other one. All right, let's go down here and we got one more set to make. 2 more buttonholes. All right, how easy was that? Now see our buttonholes right here? We're going to take our seam ripper, bring y'all over here. Put you right here so you can see. Uh-oh, don't fall over on me. Right here. See our buttonhole? I'm going to take this right here and just cut right down through there. Just like that. And look at this. Our button just fits through there beautifully. Just like that. That's the way our buttons will fit. I'll cut the rest of those and I'll sew the buttons on by hand. And the way you find out where your buttons go is you pin your fronts together and you put your button on. I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. All right, move y'all up just a little bit so you can kind of see here. This is how big this coat is on me. It's just way too big everywhere. I know it's supposed to be loose in here, and that's fine. But look, the sleeves are too long. It's too big in the arms. It's just too big. Mr. Andy's getting anxious for supper. I gotta get downstairs. So I'll come back tomorrow. We'll finish the hood because I am gonna make the detachable hood for it. And I'll show y'all how I marked this. I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna show y'all real quick how I marked where the buttons go. I'm not gonna show you how to sew on the button because if you can get this far, surely to the Lord above, you can sew on a button. Okay, so how do you know where to sew your button? I'm gonna show you right here. Here you go. See this right here? You cut your buttonholes. You're gonna take your thing and you're gonna come right in there at the center of that buttonhole. And you're gonna see about right there where you need to sew it, okay? I did that all the way up. Got 3 places for those 3 big buttons. And this is what it's gonna look like with these 3 big buttons on it. And I think they just finish it. So I'm going to have to make me another one. Yes, I am. And we'll need to add some buttons in here for our hood because we'll make our hood to button to the inside here rather than to this underneath collar, because if you put it under the collar, I can't see what I'm talking about. We're going to make our hood to button in here because if we make it button under the collar, then when you pull your hood up, you're going to pull your collar up, and you don't really want that. So we could have sewn our hood in here between the collar and the facing. And I might do that with the next one. But this one is going to have a detachable hood. But I got to go in here and I got to sew our buttons on. And then the jacket itself will be finished. Yes, it will. It's taken me all day, but I'm in love with it. And I hope that one of you all will be able to use this and wear it. It's an absolutely adorable, lightweight raincoat. It's not heavy at all. It's just a canvas raincoat. But the inside of it is canvas. And the outside is got a water repellent. It won't hold water. I love it. I love this fabric. I'm going to do lots more with this fabric because I have a ton of it. So I'm going to be doing lots of things. I'm going to make me some cushions for my swing and my front porch out of this because I think it'll be pretty. And I can put some out on the patio because, you know, I don't have a cover on the patio anymore because the storm came through one night and I looked out and the roof on the patio, the whole thing just went, it's like it was standing like this. It just fell over just like that. Just, we had a strong wind. Needless to say, it had been up for over 50 years and it was not very sturdy anymore. I'm glad nobody was out there and nobody got hurt. So with all that being said, I hope you all have enjoyed this, and I know it's a long video and I tried to cut out as much as I could, but I wanted you all to see exactly how to make this. We are going to make this again, and I'm going to make a quilted version. Haven't decided yet exactly what I'm going to make it out of. I'm going to make like a color blocked version. I don't know what I'm going to make it out of, but I'm excited. I love this coat pattern. I just think it's the cutest thing. And these are Matchy Sewing Club. They've got some of the cutest patterns. I mean, absolutely adorable patterns. They've got even more than I've looked at. I've got this one, and I don't think I got another Matchy pattern. But they've got a cute little color block top pattern. They also sell fabric, I believe. Go check them out. Matchy Sewing Club. That's the name of it. And you'll find this pattern and others, and they're simple, cute, simple little patterns. This was a simple, they called it a beginner intermediate pattern, and I guess it is because it has a collar and facing, so it is a little more intermediate, not quite beginner. confident beginner maybe, but it went together beautifully. The pattern pieces fit together great. I will be using more of their patterns. They actually have a magazine style book that you can order. I don't know how often they come out, but I used to get a lot of pattern magazines years ago. I don't know how many of them are still putting them out. I've still got all the ones that I had way back when. I never get rid of a pattern. Never, ever, ever. So, anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Leave me some comments. And if you've not already hit that subscribe button, please go below and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel. It helps me. It helps everybody all the way around. Costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. You're just hitting a button and then you get notified when I put out new content. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.